These are all the Clash Royale suggestion cards as of 2025 which have been submitted and might be added to the game at some point. The first cards are the Mushroom and the Mushroom Hut. So the Mushroom's task is to basically poison the enemy, making them not be able to move or not be able to go invisible, but they can still attack. And the damage the Mushroom does is 60 and it only has 115 hit points and it's 2 elixir. But the Mushroom Hut, on the other hand, is multiple mushrooms spawning, basically the same purpose as the mushroom, but it's a hut, so they get spawned every 8 seconds. And the Mushroom Hut has 620 points, so basically you can throw a rocket or shoot a rocket at it and then it dies. Also keep in mind every card has a new game mechanic, which you can see on top of your screen. So the third and the fourth cards are Flower and Love. The flower's purpose is for you to plant it and then it curses the enemy. And by curses I mean it makes them receive more damage from your troops, and it also makes them decrease the damage they deal onto you. And it's only 1 elixir and all you have to do is place it down. So it's actually pretty overpowered. And the Love Potion, its purpose is to make your opponents fall in love with your troops, basically. And they just run back to their base and that's what happens. And it's 3 elixir and it basically wastes the opponent's time. And keep in mind all these cards are level 1. Imagine their abilities and their potential at max level. So now we're getting onto the high elixir cards. 5 elixir Salamander. So Salamander at level 1 basically burns every troop that touches it and does 257 damage per second at level 1. So basically it can only hit ground troops, it can't hit air troops, but it can still affect air troops and make them burn. This is pretty overpowered in my opinion. It's extremely fast and its hit speed is 0.7. Alright, now we're getting into the even higher elixir cards. Now it's the Giant Mushroom. This basically is almost the same but not quite as the Mushroom. This time when it dies, it summons branches after its death and poisons enemy troops. And this is basically a much bigger version of the normal mushroom, and it has much more health, does much more damage, and is 6 elixir. And the root spell is 2 elixir, and it basically stops and poisons all enemies in the area, and they're not allowed to move or become invisible, but they can still hit. Now we're going on to the even higher elixir cards, Gyrocopter and the Turret. So the Gyrocopter is basically a flying unit and it hits both air and ground. So it shoots 4 missiles, and if there's 1 enemy in sight, all the missiles hit that 1 enemy, but if there's 4, they all go and hit all the different enemies each. The turret almost serves the same purpose, but this time it's 6 elixir and it launches a strike at 5 targets, and if there's only 1 enemy in sight, all the missiles go on that 1 target, dealing extra damage. Over to Droid. Now you guys can probably see the resemblance. This time Droid is 5 elixir. He hits both air and ground, and apparently he's the wizard of the ancient droids. So he basically is a normal troop. He does damage 114 per second, and when he dies he has a healing effect which heals his troops. Now we're coming over to the interesting cards. Reflection Shield is 4 elixir, and the Reflection Shield is basically designed to protect allies from the damage which they get. And it absorbs the damage and then it returns it upon the enemies, and this is overpowered to be honest. And then the Defender is a troop. It only targets buildings, and the Defender absorbs and reflects the damage that enemies cause to it, and basically is just a tank. Now we're over to the Resurrection section. So the Resurrection spell basically resurrects your allies which have died, your troops, within 5 seconds of them dying, but they only have 1 hit point, so they can get hit by anything and die. And Wraith is a troop, and basically Wraith attacks other troops, ground troops, as normal, but he also steals the souls of the opponents he kills, and he can use those souls to resurrect his allies which have died, but the allies only have 1 hit point. Onto the Blower, it's 4 elixir and it basically does the same as the Bowler, but it can target both air and ground troops. This time it just blows them away and does damage at the same time, and they can't really come forward unless you destroy the Blower. For part 2 I'm going to show these suggestion cards in gameplay, so how they would look like in game if they were added to Clash Royale. If you want to see that, make sure to like and subscribe with notifications, and also I'm replying to all comments. Also, I'm hosting a giveaway, so yeah.